Hey there, it's CJ Willie, and I'm cracking a pack. Today is pack number 4 in my science project of cracking the packs from my Magic the Gathering Theros Beyond Death bundle. Check out my preview video for the explanation on how this science project will test the theory to see if I can open cards with value greater than the $30 I spent on the bundle. I've added a link to my Magic the Gathering Theros Beyond Death bundle preview video in the description below. My typical reminder, I'm mainly a casual player, and let me stress the word casual. So as I open the pack, my commentary is going to be focused from a very, very casual Magic the Gathering player viewpoint. I think it's a cool way to take a look at cards from a casual player perspective versus like a pro tour player or a professional Magic the Gathering player grinder. After I open the pack, I'm going to choose the best card out of the pack. Maybe you might agree or maybe you won't, but at least it'll be interesting. So I've got pack number 4 here. As you can see, I still have the other packs all the way through pack 10 to go. Let's get this thing cracked open, see if we can get a great rare, hopefully a mythic. Okay. Start off with is Karamitra's Blessing, 1-drop white instant. Target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. If it's an enchanted creature or enchantment creature, it also gains hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. So the gods willing for enchantment creatures or enchanted creatures. I like this card quite a bit. Typically in white, you're running some enchantments, and I found it to be a really great protection spell and combat trick. So pretty cool card. I like it already. Next card, Triumphant Surge, 3 and a white, instant, destroy target creature with power 4 or greater, you gain 3 life. Another good card to have. The format seems to be slowing down and bigger, badder creatures are coming out. I think Ikoria, the set to come, is going to have a lot of big creatures. This is a common that may pay off in taking care of those big creatures that you can't get through. All right, next card, Pyrrhica's Libation, 2 and a black. You get an instant. Choose one. Target opponent sacks a creature or target opponent sacks an enchantment. It's a versatile card. You really got to know against which decks to play. If you're playing like a low to the ground, aggressive, red-white deck, mono-white deck, this card is horrible. Because they can just sacrifice one of the tokens they've made or one of the puny creatures they've made. When you're facing, let's say, blue-white control, blue-black control, where they're trying to beat you with one creature, this is something that gets around hexproof, gets around protection, so it can be useful in that sort of a deck. Next card is Blight Breath Catalebus. 6 mana, 4 and 2 black. It's a 3/2 beast. When it enters the battlefield, target creature an opponent controls gets -X until end of turn equal to your devotion to black. I've already talked about this card, I think, in a couple of my videos. I like it. When you're playing a mono black deck, this pretty much takes care of any creature they have on their side of the battlefield. Next card, Nylea's Huntmaster, 4 mana, 3 and a green. You get a 4/3 Centaur Shaman. When it enters the battlefield, target creature you control gets +X/+0 until end of turn, where X is your devotion to green. So 2 straight devotion cards, 1 black, 1 green. Devotion doesn't seem to be as strong as it was in original Theros. I really liked mono blue devotion, mono black devotion. It doesn't seem to have the same major payoffs. Casually, I'm looking at a deck that's mono black that I've got a couple of, I believe it's Ayaras from Throne of Eldraine, where Blight Breath Catalebus could be fun. Right now for green devotion, I'm just not seeing a path to where green devotion is a thing. Green devotion in original Theros was definitely a thing. In fact, I've got a casual mono mean green stompy deck that plays Arbor Colossus, plays Polukranos. Mono green devotion worked then. I don't know that it works now. Okay, next card, Incendiary Oracle. 1 and a red, you get a 2/2 human shaman. For 1 and a red, you can give it weak, fire breathing, +1/+0 until end of turn. If a creature dealt damage by Incendiary Oracle dies, you can exile it. Not too much use for a 2/2 bear with a little bit of upside. Our next card, Daybreak Chimera, 3 and 2 white for 5 mana. It's Chimera, 3/3 flyer. It costs X less to cast, where X is equal to your devotion to white. So already in this pack, 3 devotion cards. I played this in a few limited drafts. It was okay. It wasn't the greatest. I found that I had the most success when I was obviously heavier white. I tried it in a blue-white flyer deck. I just couldn't get it to go in the blue-white flyer deck. So I'm thinking that it's probably more a payoff if you're mono white. All right, next card, Deny the Divine. 2 and a blue, 3 mana, instant, counter target creature or enchantment spell. If that spell is countered this way, exile instead of putting it into its owner's graveyard. I love blue control. Absolutely love it. Even in draft, this is a pretty good card. Just countered any enchantment that was obnoxious, countered any creature. The best part about it was it exiles the creature. I played against someone that had an Uro, and they tried, and I knew that they were going to play it, and so I just, as soon as they played it, I had this counter waiting to go, exiled it, didn't have to deal with Uro being escaped for the rest of the game. All right, next card, Iroas Blessing. 3 and a red, enchantment aura, enchant creature you control. When it enters the battlefield, it deals 4 damage to target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1. So for the cycle, I've already talked about the black one aspect of Lamprey. Iroas's Blessing, I like too. Even though it only gives a +1/+1 to the creature you're enchanting, when it enters, it's still in 4 damage. And I've played it, and I have killed some of their best creatures. I've killed some of the obnoxious creatures. I've played it post-combat and taken out a creature. I like it. It's a good card. It is more of a draft kind of card. Nothing that I'd run in like a casual deck, but it takes care of, obnoxious creatures. Okay, first uncommon is Impending Doom. 3 mana, 2 and a red. Enchant Aura. Enchanted creature gets +3/+3 and attacks each combat if able. When an enchanted creature dies, Impending Doom deals 3 damage to that creature's controller. I never played with this. I always had it played against me, and I would usually lose to it. Red-white deck, turn 2 was the white Leonin. I can't think of the name of the card. A 3/1. When it dies, you exile a target card from a graveyard. So what would happen in a number of games, the Leonin would come down on turn 2, this would come down on turn 3, 6/4 swinging in. The only time that I was able to interact with it, both times I had to exile it. So by exiling it, the clause doesn't deal 3 damage to the creature's controller. So hard to rate this card. I haven't really had much experience other than it played against me. I'd be interested to see what I could do with it. Definitely it might be the card that kills me because my creature will die and this will deal 3 damage to me. Next uncommon, Dawn Evangel. 3 mana, 2 and a white, enchantment creature, human cleric. Whenever a creature dies, if an aura you controlled was attached to it, return target creature card with converted mana cost 2 or less from your graveyard to your hand. It's got a 2/3 body. I haven't really played much with this. It seems to be one of these typical white creatures that you see from set to set. It dies or something else dies and you can return a target creature card with converted mana cost 2 or less from your graveyard to the hand. It's something that we've seen over and over. I just can't see where it's made waves. So I don't really have much good to say about it. Final uncommon is Caliph, Beloved of the Sea, 1 and 2 blue. For a legendary enchantment creature, demigod. Asterisks for the power, and then 3 for the toughness. Caliph's power is equal to your devotion to blue, and creature and enchantments you control have spells your opponents cast that target this permanent cost 1 more to cast. I like this card quite a bit. Haven't had the opportunity to play with it that much. I had it in one draft deck. When I played it, the next turn, my friend paid the extra mana and killed it, so I didn't really get to see the benefit from it. But it's the type of card that I like in blue decks where it just makes everything cost more to target on my side. So it's a card that I like, and I like to spend more time, playing it. All right, rare for the pack. Theros, the Sudden Storm. 5 mana, 3 and 2 blue, legendary creature, elemental giant. It's a 4/5 body. It's got flash. It's got flying. Spells you cast with converted mana cost 5 or greater, cost 1 less to cast, and it can't be countered. I really like this card. I kind of have a crappy blue-black or blue-green flash deck that I haven't played a ton. I'm still just trying to figure out how to make it work. Obviously, it doesn't have all the powerful pieces that you'll find in like a Pro Tour blue-green flash deck. It's more of a very, very, very budget version. But this is the type of card that I like to play in it. I play some Nisas in it that I've opened out of packs. And so with those being 5 mana, if I get this out first, it reduces the cost of those Nisas by 1. The other thing I love about it with a flash deck, I flash this in on the end step of my opponent, and on my untap, I've got a 4/5 flyer. So if the bottom part of it doesn't matter and I've just got a flash flyer, it's a great card. Okay, we do have a foil, Underworld Dreams. 3 black mana, enchantment. Whenever an opponent draws a card, Underworld Dreams deals 1 damage to that player. This is a reprint from one of the older sets. I don't remember off the top of my head. I do want to play this card. I do want to play in a mono black deck. I'm trying to put together the mono black devotion deck. I'm probably going to try it with 1 copy of these to see what I can do with it. Every turn it's going to deal a damage. My mono black devotion deck obviously has Gray Man in it. Gray Man, you'll know for me, is Gray Merchant of Asphodel, but I like calling him the Gray Man because the Gray Man's going to get you. With this out on the board and with Gray Man entering, that's 5 damage to my opponent and 5 life I gain. So that's about the only place I'd really play Underworld Dreams. I wouldn't play it anywhere else, so it's a pretty limited card. Okay, Full Art Island, and is it going to be another soldier token? Hey, how did I know? Soldier token, the most common occurring token in Theros Beyond Death. All right. Favorite card in the set? For me, it's an easy one. I really like blue. And between Khalif and Theros, I'm going to go with Khalif. Khalif is the type of card that I really want to play. It's a control deck card. It's a card that's going to make it much tougher for my opponent to interact with my stuff. And hopefully I can come up with a really nice control deck. I've been working on a blue-white control deck where I think Khalif could fit in pretty well. So that out of this pack I think is my favorite or best card. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like it. Please subscribe and share. Until next time when I crack pack number 5 from my Magic the Gathering Theros Beyond Death bundle, remember, we're doing this for science.